What if everything ARMY believed was finally settled, wasn't? What if, just 10 minutes ago, a single question from Jungkook quietly shattered the fragile calm around his relationship with Taehyung, sending shockwaves through the fandom and reopening wounds no one was ready to face? Meta description. Did Jungkook just question Taehyung about their relationship minutes ago? And is this the moment that changes everything ARMY thought they knew? Before we begin, ARMY, take a breath, but don't look away. If you feel your heart racing already, you're not alone. Stay with this story until the end. And if your thoughts start spiraling like ours did, leave a comment, hit like if this hit you emotionally, and subscribe so you don't miss what might come next. Because whatever is happening between Jungkook and Taehyung right now is far from ordinary. 10 minutes ago. That phrase alone feels dangerous. It feels immediate, raw, unfinished. And that's exactly why ARMY panicked when whispers began spreading that Jungkook had questioned Taehyung about what he was really doing with their relationship. Not accused. Not confirmed. Questioned. And sometimes, a question hurts more than a statement, because it means doubt has already taken root. For a long time, fans believed the hardest part was over. The tension, the silence, the awkward glances that felt heavier than words. ARMY told themselves that if Jungkook had already spoken honestly before, then surely everything else would slowly fall back into place. Healing takes time, right? But what if healing stalled? What if the silence didn't mean peace, but distance? And what if Jungkook finally couldn't ignore that feeling anymore? The moment this narrative began circulating, ARMY reactions exploded not because of what was said, but because of what it implied. Jungkook, the one often seen as patient, emotional yet restrained, apparently reached a point where he had to ask Taehyung directly what was happening between them. And that alone suggests something deeper has been unresolved for far longer than fans realized. What does it mean when someone questions the direction of a relationship instead of celebrating it? Is it fear? Is it confusion? Or is it the quiet realization that two people might not be standing on the same emotional ground anymore? Those who have followed Jungkook and Taehyung closely know that their bond has never been simple. It has always lived in the space between friendship and something harder to define. Their interactions once felt effortless, full of shared glances and unspoken understanding. But lately, that ease seemed replaced by hesitation. And hesitation, when left alone too long, becomes a question begging to be asked. ARMY panicked because this wasn't a rumor about schedules or creative differences. This was personal. This was emotional. This was about a relationship that fans have watched evolve, fracture, and attempt to heal in real time. The idea that Jungkook might be questioning Taehyung's actions suggests he may be feeling uncertain about where he stands in Taehyung's life right now. And here's where the shock deepens. Jungkook questioning Taehyung isn't just about Taehyung's behavior. It's about Jungkook's vulnerability. To ask such a question means admitting fear of loss, fear of change, fear that what once felt solid may now be slipping away. That kind of honesty is terrifying, especially when the answer might hurt. ARMY began revisiting recent moments with new eyes. The pauses in conversation. The way laughter didn't linger as long. The smiles that appeared but didn't quite reach the eyes. Were those signs always there, quietly warning everyone that something was off? Or are fans projecting their fear now that this question has surfaced? What makes this situation even more emotionally charged is the timing. 10 minutes ago implies urgency, as if Jungkook reached a breaking point. Not tomorrow, not after thinking it over for weeks, but now. That suggests the weight had become unbearable. And when someone reaches that point, the question they ask is rarely casual. It's usually the one they've been avoiding because they're afraid of the answer. ARMY panic didn't come from drama. It came from empathy. Fans felt that familiar tightness in their chest because they recognized the scenario. Who hasn't been there, wondering if the person you care about is still walking beside you or slowly drifting ahead without you? Jungkook's question feels universal, which is why it hits so hard. And then there's Taehyung's side of this emotional storm. What does it mean to be questioned about your commitment, your actions, your intentions? Was Taehyung unaware that his behavior was causing doubt? Or was he also silently struggling, unsure how to bridge the growing emotional gap? The silence around his response only intensifies the tension. This is where the story stops being about idols and starts being about humans. Two people with history, memories, and shared pain trying to navigate a relationship under a microscope. Every movement analyzed. Every pause dissected. And now, one question threatening to redefine everything. ARMY began asking their own questions. Is this the beginning of clarity or the start of a deeper fracture? Does questioning mean Jungkook wants to fight for the relationship? Or is he preparing himself for a painful truth? And most haunting of all, what if Taehyung's answer isn't what fans hope for? The emotional weight of this moment lies in its uncertainty. Nothing has been confirmed. Nothing has been denied. And yet everything feels different. Once a question like this is spoken, it cannot be unheard. It lingers in the air, changing the tone of every interaction that follows. Some fans believe this could be a turning point, a necessary confrontation that leads to honesty and healing. Others fear it signals the beginning of emotional distance that can't be undone. Both interpretations coexist, fueling anxiety and hope in equal measure. What makes this situation almost unbearable is how deeply ARMY cares. Fans aren't panicking because they want drama. They're panicking because they've invested emotionally in a bond that once felt safe, warm, and enduring. Seeing cracks form in something you love always hurts. Even if you're only watching from afar. Jungkook's question, whether spoken softly or with trembling emotion, represents a moment of courage. It also represents risk. Because when you ask someone what they're doing with your relationship, you're acknowledging that the answer might change everything. And so ARMY waits, analyzes, replays moments, holds their breath. Because 10 minutes ago may have been the moment when everything shifted. Even if no one is ready to admit it. Is this the calm before resolution? Or the quiet before heartbreak? Is Jungkook seeking reassurance? Or bracing himself for disappointment? And is Taehyung prepared to answer honestly, knowing how much weight his response carries? One thing is certain. This isn't just another rumor that will fade by tomorrow. This feels like a chapter, not a headline. A moment that will be remembered as the time when a question changed the emotional direction of a story. ARMY thought they understood. That if this touched something in you, if you felt that familiar ache of uncertainty while reading, you're not alone. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let others know how you're feeling. And don't forget to like and subscribe because this story isn't finished yet. And neither, perhaps, is the bond between Jungkook and Taehyung. And yet, the most unsettling part of this moment is not what has been said, but what remains unspoken. Because after a question like that is asked, silence becomes louder than ever. ARMY understands this instinctively. Silence is no longer neutral once doubt enters the room. It becomes heavy, meaningful, and terrifying. What happens after Jungkook asks Taehyung what he is really doing with their relationship? Does Taehyung answer immediately? Or does he hesitate, searching for words that won't wound but might still reveal too much? That pause alone could feel like an eternity. And for Jungkook, every second without an answer might feel like confirmation of his deepest fear. This is where emotions stop being theoretical. This is where they become physical. The tightening in the chest. The sudden need to look away. The instinct to protect yourself even while craving reassurance. Jungkook has always worn his heart openly, but questioning a relationship suggests he may be reaching the limits of how much uncertainty he can endure. ARMY began to sense that this moment did not come out of nowhere. It feels like the culmination of countless small moments that were brushed aside, minimized, or explained away. A delayed reply, a distant expression, a warmth that faded too quickly. These things rarely cause panic on their own, but together, they build a quiet storm.